Today we are going to discuss the worst prisons in New York. The New York State prison system is the largest in the United States. It houses more than 60,000 inmates and employs more than 20,000 people. The prisons are overcrowded and understaffed. The prisons are also underfunded and have a lack of resources to provide for inmates. NYC prisons are also known for slashing incidents. Inmates are not given adequate medical care and mental health treatment, which leads to a higher rate of suicide among inmates. Inmates also have limited access to rehab programs that could help them reintegrate into society after their release from prison. Sullivan County Jail, Monticello, New York.
Josh, Sarah, with the highest numbers the Sullivan County Jail has ever seen, both officers and inmates are at their boiling point in a jail that's simply busting at the seams today with nearly 1,000 inmates. Inside the Tri-City's largest jail, those locked up are living in conditions that even the staff admits are dangerous and inhumane.
Yeah, this is overcrowded at its max.
The jail at its breaking point.
Tonight, a plan to make people pay up when they get locked up in Sullivan County.
Yeah, some Sullivan County commissioners think inmates should have to fork over as much as $1,000 a month to cover the cost of their room and board.
We've had as many as 40 inmates in a 16-bed bay.
Carswell allowed our cameras inside of the jail Thursday night. We saw inmates with cots on the floor because there aren't enough beds.
Sullivan County Jail is located in Monticello, New York. It has seen a lot of changes over the past few years. It is now the largest jail in New York and has 3,300 inmates on any given day. The facility was originally built to house 1,000 inmates, but overcrowding became an issue in the early 2000s. The new management came up with a new plan to build a second facility in order to increase capacity, however it was never built. Attica Prison Complex, Wyoming County, New York.
More than 4 decades after the notorious 1971 prison uprising, the upstate New York prison Attica is back in the news this week. 3 guards at Attica Prison have pleaded guilty to brutally beating an inmate, but they themselves will not spend time behind bars.
You in the Supermax. Attica is the Supermax New York State Correctional Facility, for those of y'all that didn't know. That is a Supermax. That is a max. You know, it's not just federal correctional facilities that have supermaxes, it's also the states. So Attica is one of those.
It's a horrifying situation because you wake up not knowing what today's going to bring you. And when I mean what today's going to bring you, not what the person that you lock next door to, but with the officers.
From there, they sent them to Attica. In Attica Prison, they tried the same thing on them again. Because when you in prison, and you do something to an officer, they're going to put it in your record. I don't know what they write in your file, but they write something for once you get to that prison, they read it, and the shit starts. When he got to Attica, they tried to do the same thing to him. He tried to stab them. They hung him. You hear what I'm saying? They hung him.
In 1971, when Attica Prison Complex was first built, its design was meant to be a model for prisons all over the country. On the contrary, this prison is known for violence on inmates and correctional officers, which has led to inmates murdered under shaky circumstances. The prison has a capacity of 2,600 inmates. The state intended to keep the prison full at all times, so that prisoners would have few opportunities to escape a riot. The prison was designed with 2 levels of cells, a recreation yard and a staff residence. Auburn Correctional Facility, Auburn, New York.
It is an extremely dangerous environment that our members have to work in. 82 weapons seized in a 1-month period speaks volumes to the fact that the administration needs to do more to make the facility stay safe. Well, State Corrections also released a statement.
Officers sent to the hospital after more than 20 inmates started fighting at Auburn Correctional Facility.
Soon as you come in there, it's like a dark cloud over the jail, my nigga, I promise you. Soon as you come in that shit, my nigga, you can feel the misery and depression.
In Auburn, the ABC CBS killer, white guy, a black man calls him a snitch. He saws the man head off. The pictures is still up in the jail.
Auburn Correctional Facility is one of the worst prisons in New York because of the terrible conditions that inmates face. The prison has been operating without an upstate correctional facility commission since June of 2011. This means that Auburn Correctional Facility cannot be closed down, and it also means that the prison's operation will not be overseen by another agency. The lack of oversight has led to increased violence at Auburn. Clinton Correctional Facility, Dannemora, New York.
So then they say, Franklin, Clinton Correctional Facility. I'm like, oh shit. Shit just got real. You know what I'm saying?
This is in the North Country of New York. It is very sparsely populated, only about 25 miles from the Canadian border, and full of a lot of woods and a few scattered homes and hunting cabins. Lots of places to hide out.
Safe from gang fights, New York Assemblywoman Janet Dupree says have broken out numerous times at Clinton Correctional Facility.
All of this is a formula for very potential violence in this area. Beyond that, there's more. The racial makeup really counts here. The vast majority of these inmates are black or Latino, 3/4 of them, and yet with more than 900 corrections officers here.
In an age where the more horrific the crime, the more prison time is allotted, many people have related to a recent article in the New York Post. There, they interviewed inmates of various prisons to find out which one was the worst. Clinton Correctional Facility came in at number 1 with a whopping 45% of inmates incarcerated for serious violent crimes. Fishkill Correctional Facility, Beacon, New York.
Night of abuse behind bars at prisons statewide, including Fishkill Correctional Facility, where several inmate deaths have resulted in lawsuits against the state. State police are now investigating the death of an inmate at Fishkill Correctional Center. 37-year-old Joseph Clark, who is from Newburgh, died last Monday morning after getting emergency medical attention. And thanks for staying with us. We got new information tonight in that death of a Fishkill inmate. Now, state investigators now say it appears Joseph Clark died by suicide. Tonight, the inmate's mother is demanding a closer look.
Fishkill Correctional Facility, also known as Fishkill CF, is one of the worst prisons in New York. The facility is located in Fishkill, New York, and has a maximum capacity of 1,800 inmates. This prison has been rated at a D by the National Institute for Corrections. The New York State prisons are in a state of crisis. The prison population has increased by more than 50% since 2000, and the number of inmates who are incarcerated for life has increased by more than 400%. The prison system is overcrowded and understaffed, which leads to violence and abuse. An important fact is most sentenced adult inmates from NYC locked away will be upstate New York, close to Canada, and very far away from home. The New York State prisons need to be fixed in order to provide a safe environment for inmates and staff. One way to fix the prisons is by reducing the number of inmates who are incarcerated for life. Another way is by increasing the number of guards so that they can keep an eye on all prisoners at all times. Thanks for watching. For more content, like and subscribe to our channel.